Today we are going to talk about the top 10 movies that are directly related to the topic of financial, stock, and other markets. Moreover, they are definitely worth your attention, so let's not talk too much and get right to the point. Tenth place, Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, 2010. IMDb rating, 6.2 out of 10. The picture tells the story of a kind of business shark, Gordon Gekko, who has been forced to retire from business. But when Gordon sets out to regain his former might, he is faced with a harsh truth. The world has changed drastically, and the financial markets now have completely different laws and rules, and it will be very hard for an old-school man to adapt to them. Luckily for Gekko, seeking not only his former greatness but also to restore his relationship with his daughter, her boyfriend, a Wall Street trader, needs his experience just as much. Thanks to the same business relationship, things begin to change. Starring Shia LaBeouf, Michael Douglas, Carey Mulligan, and others. Ninth place, The Wizard of Lies, 2017. IMDb rating, 6.8 out of 10, Golden Globe nomination. This film is included in the rating primarily for the script, for the story that blew up the financial community in its day. All of the world's key media outlets were reeling with headlines about Bernard Madoff's fraud in late 2008. The movie is for fans of story-driven movies with a script based on genuine events. It would seem that such a story could be found in the early 20th century, but the appearance of such a scam in 2008 seems simply fantastic. Starring Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, Alessandro Nivola, Nathan Darrow, Michael Kostroff, and others. Eighth place, Margin Call, 2011. IMDb rating, 7.1 out of 10, Oscar nominee. Be First, Be Smarter, or Cheat. The film is one of many pictures about the crisis in the United States in 2008. In doing so, the picture was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. The action of the film unfolds during the 24 hours of the life of the investment bank that first dared to drain the toxic mortgage securities in 2008. There are several versions, one of which is that Citibank was the prototype. One way or another, all major investment banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman, etc., were subjected to record fines for certain violations, including those that formed the basis of the film. Starring Zachary Quinto, Stanley Tucci, Kevin Spacey, Paul Bettany, Jeremy Irons, Penn Badgley, Demi Moore, and others. Seventh place, Too Big to Fail, 2011. IMDb rating, 7.3 out of 10, a chronicle of the events that led to the 2008 financial crisis. The story centers on the actions of the financial management in the United States to prevent the collapse of Lehman Brothers and what followed. Recall that Lehman did go under, leading to a deepening of the global financial crisis. The film features a whole cast of legendary characters, including Warren Buffett himself. Starring James Woods, John Hurd, Paul Giamatti, Topher Grace, William Hurt, and others. Sixth place, Pi, 1997. IMDb rating, 7.3 out of 10. The movie is about a talented mathematician Max Cohen who is obsessed with the idea of systematicity. In his opinion, the financial markets are a concentration of millions of minds. It seems to be complete chaos, but Cohen sees order here too. He managed to generate a code that allowed him to predict the collapse of American stock markets, for which he attracted the persecution of Wall Street. Starring Sean Gillette, Mark Margolis, Ben Schenkman, Pamela Hart, and others. Do you like our videos? Please like us, it gives us the motivation to create new ones. And to make sure you don't miss them, subscribe and click the bell. Fifth place, Wall Street, 1987. IMDb rating, 7.3 out of 10. The movie Wall Street is a true classic in its genre. Released back in 1987, this movie became a hit among movies about the stock market and investments. The story centers on the story of an ordinary employee of a brokerage company, Buddy Fox, who made a dizzying career, earned a lot of money, and then lost everything in the name of truth and justice. You should pay attention to this picture at least for its legendarity. Starring Charlie Sheen, Michael Douglas, and Daryl Hannah. 4th place, Madoff, 2016. IMDb rating, 7.4 out of 10. One of many screen adaptations tells the story of Bernie Madoff, a famous American financier who became famous for creating a lucrative money-making scheme. Except that he doesn't deserve to have his name take a place of honor in history next to prominent people of his own profession, because Madoff's scheme was based on fraud. Bernie's scams with depositors' finances brought him huge profits, and people who contacted him lost a total of about $65 billion. So what is the title worthy of Madoff, a revolutionary conman or an unholy swindler? Starring Richard Dreyfuss, Blythe Danner, Tom Lipinski, Frank Whaley, Aaron Cummings, and others. 3rd place, Becoming Warren Buffett, 2017. IMDb rating, 7.5 out of 10. A documentary about the man who became the #1 legend in the world of investing. A detailed story about Warren Buffett, his family, life habits, and, of course, the principles of investing. The film tells the journey from a young lover of books and all sorts of mathematical calculations to the real guru, whom the whole world eventually began to call the Oracle of Omaha. The film constantly features rare photographs, archival footage, and interviews with Buffett's family, colleagues, and friends. Recommended for anyone interested in value investing based on fundamental analysis. A documentary about Buffett definitely motivates self-development in the field of finance. Starring Warren Buffett and family, Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, and others. 2nd place, The Big Short, 2015. IMDb rating, 7.8 out of 10. Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. A brilliant picture that recounts the events of the financial crisis in 2007 to 2008 in simple terms. The approaching unseen financial collapse nationwide, and subsequently worldwide, can be foreseen by financiers with a flair for sleuths and a special sensitivity to near disasters. But thanks to this film, any average person, even those unfamiliar with the financial markets, can understand the problems that led to the massive upheaval. Everything happening, of course, is based on real events. The film lays out how the financial world is sometimes stupid. It is presented with very clear examples, which feature very famous personalities. Starring Christian Bale, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt, and others. 1st place, The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013. IMDb rating, 8.2 out of 10. 5 Oscar nominations. The Wolf of Wall Street is a black movie comedy that wins the battle for attention against a succession of austere, stock and economic term-filled films. Adding to the uniqueness is the fact that it is based on the story of the real man Jordan Belfort. The cognitive part about the American stock market is not high for the viewer at the moment. Nevertheless, the film came out at the moment when the viewer was fed up with the modern history of the 2008 crisis and craved something new, easier to perceive. The most noteworthy is the brilliant performance of the actors, revealing the images of people who rapidly climbed the ladder of the stock market and no less rapidly collapsed under the pressure of a specific way of life. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Margot Robbie, Matthew McConaughey, and others. If you liked the video, give us a like, it will motivate us to create new videos. And don't miss them, subscribe and click the bell. Fi free.